feels so
coming from that
stupid.
side.
I think that was like a farting sound. It wasn't intentional, but plop. All right.
Okay, got the recording device.
We are recording.
We are recording.
Everything's connected.
We're waiting for the clap, Lon.
But do we have all the wires connected?
Wires are connected.
Nothing's changed
Because they've never been disconnected.
Knee bone connected to shin bone?
Or the elbow bone connected to the
or
thigh
the
bone.
rectum connected to the
Rectum?
sure.
Damn
even
near
know
killed
him.
him.
Damn near
Oh,
killed
I
him.
didn't even know him. That's wrong for this one. All right, ready? Here we go. Start this episode.
We've got another episode, ladies and gentlemen, of Midnight Movie Distillery. I'm one of your hosts, Logan Lynch.
I'm another one.
There
of
it
your
is.
hosts.
It was like you were scared to see.
Warwick Bray.
You're like, is he done yet?
I had food in my mouth.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're eating random shit right now.
And I'm Lon
to cleanse
Black.
the palate.
Eating a cracker.
Polly, what's a cracker?
It's not Polly, it's Lon.
Anyway,
Lon,
Nice
what's a
to meet
cracker?
so we are now, this is really exciting. We are now on our, I was getting confused. These are our semi-finals,
Sure.
right?
They are.
We went from Elite 8 to Final 4, right?
Yeah,
This
we're
is
on,
Final 4.
We're in the final four. So obviously our first part of the show
getting
is
close to
talking about
March
our
here.
bourbons. So Lon, what are our bourbons? Let me switch over to your screen.
Boop.
I'm so excited.
I did the voiceover
So
for
as
you.
you can see here, we had Longbranch that beat out Four Roses,
So surprising.
Yeah, very surprising.
which was a big surprise.
That was a tough one.
And Few beat out Uncle Nearest. Maybe not as big a surprise, but
Not as
still
big
a
a
good,
surprise.
good challenge. And we do have down here Russell beat out Uncle Remus by split decision.
That was pretty damn close.
And Woodford Reserve beat out Whiskey Acres, which actually was a surprise,
Sure.
but it was unanimous.
Yep.
So now we're doing our bracket. We're going to jump to Longbranch versus Few.
Phew.
Few is a local distillery to us. It is high quality spirits for a high quality price. And Longbranch, which is Matthew McConaughey's Texas.
All right.
So was he only just part of like a ambassador for
No,
it,
no,
or
it
did
was
he
one of those
have some
things-
sort of play in it just because
He had a
it's-
play in it. He's the one who
Okay.
decided. So he's from Texas.
Is it some of
Right.
his sweat in there or something?
I wouldn't say
Just his
no.
tears.
Yeah.
I think the thing
Or
with
his
that whole
man
thing
batter.
was they asked him, they wanted to be part of it, and he wanted to be part of some whiskey thing. And they said, okay, what do you come up with? And together they came up with the Texas Mesquite angle to the whole thing. And this is for Wild Turkey, by the way. Wild Turkey's the one who came
Sure.
up to him. So they used him as a spokesperson.
It's a
but
branch
he
of Wild
did
Turkey.
Have an input.
Is it the Long Branch?
It's one of the wings.
If anybody's looking for somebody to join their podcast of intelligent people,
I don't know.
let me know.
Sorry.
So he did have a say in it. He did have a little part in it. And then, of course, he marketed the shit out of it with his stardom. So, but that's why we didn't have high hopes for it necessarily, because
Yeah,
if
right.
it's a marketing scheme, great. Few is a local distillery that literally puts their heart and soul into every bottle. And you thought, okay, mass-produced, star-backed, it's not going to be as good. It did better than Four Roses.
Yeah, blew us
Small
away.
batch.
It
Four
was
Roses,
a
small
surprise.
batch.
Yeah. I think
So-
that caught us all off
Yeah.
guard by chance, but
So it's held its own. Whereas Few really beat out Uncle Nearest pretty well. Now we're down to a little bit more of a nitty-gritty.
so we got Few and Long Branch.
Few and Longbranch.
And as I'm sure at this point, hopefully you've watched previous episodes of the brackets. We don't know what is in the glasses that are in front of us. Lon knows the beverage that is behind A and B, but also doesn't know what's in the glasses in front of him.
Somebody
other
else
than,
gave it to me, mixed them up.
Yeah, other than the fact that it's one of the A and B.
I will say this. I've already forgotten which ones I put between A and B. We did that long ago so far, and then talked and ate. And so
Okay.
I don't actually remember what I
Good.
put behind A and B.
Good.
So this is the closest we can get to a blind test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty blind. It's pretty blind.
It's fairly
I
blind.
think so. It's blind.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get to sniffing.
All right, you guys sniff it, and I'll continue to keep the
You know,
voice portion going because I have such a glamorous voice that you all want to hear.
But you also have the nose for the sniffing.
Oh,
I've got a schnoz.
Does he have a nose?
This is what
I
I'm
can't even
saying.
fit it in this glass. That's why you gave me this glass, you ass. Hey, try smelling this fucker. Yeah, that's what it is. Look at this. Watch, seriously, watch.
Yep.
No,
Wow,
it ain't
you
going.
broke my glass.
Yeah,
bitch.
yeah. Now that's you know what there's another idea. I had the original palate cleansing idea. What if we had a glass that had just a little bit of a trim out here for your schnoz? Ha!
Because you're the only person who has like an abnormally large schnoz.
Here, you can make it even better. Have another one on this side, so that way then you could put your cigar on it.
They do that already.
I know, but they don't have the notch
whilst you're
on it.
drinking it?
Well, I mean,
You don't
no,
need
it's
the
to
cigar
hold
while
your
you're
cigar.
drinking it.
No.
So as Walt works as whilst you're drinking
Whilst.
it.
Whilst.
You don't
That's
have it whilst
proper
Isn't it
English.
whilst?
Drinking.
Is it
Proper
whilst?
English, not a
It's
proper
whilst.
American.
No, it's
it
English.
whilst?
Whilst. Look it up.
I don't know what
All right,
I'm talking about.
so
All right,
I
you guys
will say
go
this.
for your first smell.
No, I've been in.
Oh.
I'm in there.
Yeah, you can get in there. I can't.
I've sniffed so fucking hard.
So listen. I will say this right off the bat. And I say this with reserve. I can smell mesquite in one of these.
Watch our Four Roses Longbranch episode.
Because in that episode, I was way wrong. The one I thought mesquite was Four Roses.
Yeah,
it
you
was
did.
not Longbranch.
I'll make the
Oh,
same statement.
wait a second.
I think this.
Right?
I think this is the.
It smells
I
distinctive.
should have
doesn't it?
smelled it ahead of time because now I'm thinking something. But hold on.
I'm telling you, it's deceiving because you smell and you're like, oh, I know this is Longbranch. And I was wrong last time. So now I'm skeptical.
See, I think this is.
I'm nervous.
I'm going now. This is just me talking out of my ass. But first brain inkling as soon as I smelled.
Wow.
I'm going with something on this one, and I'm saying this now because I don't want to actually announce it right now because I'm going to give it a couple of tastes. This is prior to taste test, but I'm going to say this is something.
Thanks for clarifying
You had a 50-50
that.
chance of guessing what I
For
actually
clarity,
talking about.
I think both of these are something.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing.
And I'd like to go on record that I think both of these are whiskey.
We got Cheese Whiz too.
Yeah, that's the problem. We're
All
probably
right. So now I'm actually going to try and taste
all right,
this.
all
Have you
right,
done?
all
You guys
right,
had?
here
Are
we
you
go.
guys like too deep now?
No, I haven't tasted anything
Oh
yet.
well, then what the fuck?
I'm too deep. Too deep.
You're very deep. We know that one. Don't have to brag about it.
In too deep. And I
Wow. Hotter than I thought that was going to be.
Was it the same mesquite one?
Yeah,
It was.
but it's not hot. It's warm. So no, it's a for me. It's
I got hot on that one.
Hold on. The other one was a little
Whoa.
hotter.
Hold on.
This one is. I think this is the few.
Wow, he's like going at it right now. He's like,
I have guesses as well, but that one was hotter than the first one. I thought it was going to be more mellow, but it wasn't.
ooh.
I think
See,
this is the Longbranch.
oh, he's like, man, he's out there. Wow. Shit.
Wow.
Pardon me.
Now, okay, let's go. I guess a little deeper into this. What do we think? What's the age on these guys? So, well, I say these guys, but we don't really know. I think few is that's 4 to 5 years.
That's way smoother than the other one, though.
I'm gonna cleanse real quick while you're doing that.
Yeah. Let me look it
I'm
up.
gonna cleanse.
Like,
Yeah. Trust me, you have not been cleansing.
colon cleansing. Okay.
So minimum of 4 years.
Okay. Just a few
And-
years.
See, they say minimum of 4 years.
I was gonna go. I'm
So
just
it could
gonna.
be 6, could be 7.
Could be 100.
Technically, it's not. Nah, they're not going to go.
It's just
like
that they have to give you the minimum, right?
Right,
Like, okay.
right.
So I'm gonna say that the Longbranch is 5 to 6 years.
It's 8
Long
years.
Branch is 8.
8? Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say 8.
Okay.
Especially after I saw what's on the screen.
Well, you
So
son of a.
that's
bitch.
that's a big difference.
Right, and that is smoothness versus non-smoothness.
Yeah, but
Sorry, I keep kicking this.
But it
typically-
also it varies right based on the process
there's
and things.
so many variants to this. So because of the fact that when you even if it's a little hotter, not aged as long, there's a lot more flavor to it. Because aging doesn't necessarily take down flavor, but it does mellow it.
Right.
Right, so but that's not necessarily a good or bad thing. Like there's the
But if you're-
the backbone.
but if you got a
Backbone
big
is
burn to
kicking
begin
the
with-
face flavor,
Right,
and it's not that old.
Right, and again, it depends what you start off with, right? In other words, it's like, you know,
Well-
a 23-year-old Scotch is going to be smooth and has,
you were going
has
somewhere
lots
else
of
with
flavor.
that.
and-
23, fuck yeah! I mean, you're talking
no,
a big age Scotch
Right.
too, though. Usually, when it comes to between 3 to 5 years, there's not much difference. 5 to 10 years, you get a bigger difference. You talking scotches that go 15, 14, 18, 20 years. There's a big difference when you get to that. So typically the younger the age, the differences aren't that great. But it does
And the more
than
likelihood go
just
to jail.
Well,
Sorry, I couldn't resist that
right
one.
to the pedophile.
Yeah.
Listen, it matters less in the younger ages, matters more in the bigger ages. That's all I'm saying. Which is, I think, what you were saying, wasn't it?
Sure.
I'm pretty sure.
In a roundabout way.
It's what the Catholic priests say as well.
Yes. Oh, man.
If there's grass on the field, it's time to play
Play
ball.
ball. Oh, God. I have a worse one, and I'm not even going to say it on the
No,
phone.
yes, you should. 'Cause your children watch this show.
I heard somebody say this. They
Your
said
kids
if
love
they're
this
old enough
show.
to crawl, they're in the right position.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. That was not me that said that.
Way worse.
Exactly.
But is that worse than old enough?
That's exactly what I thought, too.
Old enough to bleed, old enough to breed.
Yeah,
It's
that's
worse
it.
than that. I think that's worse than that.
Or the way it goes that I've heard it was old enough to bleed and old enough for me,
Oh, my God.
which is the same thing.
All right, we went off the rails on that one.
Sorry.
No, so
We lost our entire female.
I was going to say not, and probably some males too. See so these two, I feel like, so we are. I mean, we were joking, but age does obviously play a huge role in this, but now there's some that we've had. I want to say it was
weird.
Wolf Point. Was it Wolf Point that
Wolf
had
Point.
a really it had a burn
Yep.
that stuck with you,
And it was off-putting at the beginning, the first taste.
But then it grew on you, and it kind of hung in there. And then as you kept drinking more, you got used to that burn. But then that played a role in taking in all those other flavors, right?
100%. The Wolf Point is one of those bourbons that, to me, was when you first taste, you're like, oh, this is not my bourbon. By the fifth sip, you were like, I need another bottle.
Sure.
Agreed.
Agreed.
It took that 180-degree turn and became a craveable bourbon. You crave it now. But you didn't unless you forced yourself to finish that glass.
Sure. And
if you took one sip and walked away, you're not going to be a fan.
Yeah, I try to give it at least a glass, right? You know.
And
there's times
we
where I've
always
given
say 3 fingers deep, right?
Yeah.
We go 3 sips in. So
a minimum 3 sips.
Right. Minimum.
Because there's some
The
where-
more the better on this.
There's
one,
some too
on that
where
one.
I think your tongue takes that initial burn as kind of like the hey, letting you know I'm here, and then your tongue then figures out, okay, yeah, there's the burn, but what else is behind that, right? Like I think your tongue learns as you keep drinking.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
And as I keep drinking more, like there's some where that burn's still there, but then your mind goes, okay, I got that. What's the next thing? And then there's some where the burn is so overpowering, you're like, where is everything else? And you just kind of forget.
But again, that's another 3 sips in kind of thing.
Sure.
Because,
but even 3
like
sips
you
in,
said,
there's
your
some where
mouth-
you're like, why is this still burning?
But that's just it. Then it's not a good one. But if
Correct.
it doesn't, and you start to pick out the flavors that are behind that burn, then you really start to realize the profiles of this whiskey. And that's when you get the little idiosyncrasies that you love about it, or just like about it, or maybe you don't like about it, but you get past the heat, you get to the flavor, and then your taste buds are like, all right, this is really good. This part right here, this little edge.
Hey,
you
by the way,
love
this is
edge.
still here. Yeah. Training.
So have you gotten any of that with this? Because already I'm in about, they're both completely different.
They're very opposites.
Very, very different. I mean, to me, this to me is. I still stick with my. This is Longbranch.
So you've picked one already.
Yeah, I think this is still.
So now I accidentally forced myself to create a burn on this one.
How do you do that?
So as I was drinking, it went
choked
down,
on it?
and I kind of cleared my throat at the same time for some stupid reason, which then forced it back like up into the
I
back
don't know if
part
that's
of my.
a good thing.
No,
But
I
then
think
that
you go
made
see
me
a doctor.
feel the burn because I was not feeling as much of a burn with this one.
Interesting.
Versus this one. This one, the burn is still there. It's letting me know it's there, but I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna go with this one is probably Longbranch. Sorry, I almost said
Longhorn?
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole Texas
I
thing
get you.
anyway.
I think this is few. It's like because I can remember few.
Oh, few.
Few.
Like
Even though that
Hugh
was ultimately
Grant?
the winner of that bracket, I just
you want to bring that up?
This just seems to be.
I'm gonna go cracker
You're gonna crack
just to make sure that I can get a kind of a
I don't
restart.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I think if you go to chili cheese Fritos, that's a bad idea.
Yeah. crack her open.
It beat out Uncle Unrest. So the problem that I have with that is Uncle
Unrest
Unrest.
or Nearest?
I'm sorry,
Nearest. Unrest.
That is a very good name for a fucking
Unrest.
a
Where
whiskey,
did
though.
that
That's
come
where there's
from?
lots of activity in your mouth.
Yeah.
There's lots
That's
of
just
unrest.
unrest.
Yeah, I
That's-
like that. Ooh.
That's weird.
Dude, you better patent that shit.
Uncle Nearest,
Copyright.
but we've never had Uncle Nearest before. I haven't.
Sure.
So
It was good, but
right.
it wasn't that good.
And I think that's the point. The point is, it's like, I think, between Longbranch and Four Roses,
Blown away, brother.
Right.
Blown away.
I think, it's a I hate to use this word, but like it's a lower level for Uncle Nearest and Few, and so I think that's why Few was the clear winner there. But it's like, I think comparing Few to Longbranch,
Which is weird because Uncle Nearest has won. It won in Vegas. Some pretty. I mean, it got like a 94 out of 100.
You know one of Vegas's biggest whiskeys?
What?
Smoke Wagon. You hate Smoke Wagon.
hate Smoke Wagon.
I love Smoke
I
Wagon.
don't know. We tried it. You and I tried it, and they
I-
had 4 or 5 different ones there.
Dude, I love Smoke
And
Wagon.
the guy had great presentation, and I love the bottle. The bottle's great, but I went through all 4 of those and going, let's move on. Like it was
No
one of
shit.
those where you and I were. You were like, I
was into it, yeah.
think you whipped it out at one
I
point.
did. He
But I was like,
he helped me
and the
out
guy
fun
was
next
great.
time.
I loved
Yeah.
the guy. The guy was nice. He was
of a-
You
talkative.
loved him.
bit
You
of
loved him
reach
physically.
around.
Yeah, he
got
gave
it.
him a complimentary.
What is it
one.
without the reach around? Work, really. What is it without the reach
That shows love.
Yes.
But yeah, but
At least
extra something.
for some reason,
tenderness.
Smoke Wagon just it like hit me the wrong way. Now, I that came out completely wrong.
That's what she said.
Dial it
Bringing it back.
Dial it back in.
No, but it was one of those things where I had high hopes because you're looking at it, you're like they put a lot of thought into the bottle, and the way the guy was presenting it, and I kept trying. That's why I kept trying each one because I'm thinking, okay, well maybe I just don't like this specific one, and I moved to the next one. I'm like, nope, still don't like it. Third one, I'm like, really, this is getting annoying now. And then fourth one, I'm like, shit, none of these seem to hit my back.
Then there's something they put in there that you don't like.
So
and
yeah, now that's the
cool.
thing though.
That's
that was
fine.
my first time experiencing it. Maybe I should go back. Like case in point, Woodford Reserve. Like
Yeah.
the first time I had it, I was like, "This is gross. I don't
Yeah.
like this." Now all of a sudden, I'm picking it as a winner. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, so
Last show.
palates
Go watch
change.
that last
Yes,
episode.
please go back and watch it. But that's where maybe it's the same type of thing here. Maybe Few. I was not a fan of Few when the first time I had it at that same event, and it was one of those things where I'm just like, I had high hopes because they had great looking bottle. I loved the logo. I mean, it was it's local. I'm like,
Sure.
oh, this is going to be great, or at least decent. And it just, I think we tried probably three different ones at their booth. They
Yeah,
were
they
they
had
were on
four.
the they were on
They
the
had
end of
four,
it,
so,
so I
yeah.
may have been a little woo.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
at that
maybe.
point, because we were trying to make our way. God, I don't know how many was there 100 vendors there.
Oh, at the big one, there were
Yeah.
400.
400, and we made through maybe 150, I would say. But it was, and that was tough. So, but for whatever reason, like I learned a lot in just that 3 or 4 hours that we were there. That I was like, holy shit!
It's impossible to hit all of them.
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
to look for the ones you're looking.
I would have really, maybe it would have helped if I would have had some sort of like cracker that helped cleanse my palate in between.
Just don't listen to them.
Come
Just
on,
turn
I'm
off.
telling you, somebody's
come
gonna
back.
fucking invent it, and I'm gonna go.
Jump forward
Give it.
20 seconds.
You
okay.
owe me.
So, what do you think?
Um,
I haven't picked one yet. I mean, I'm trying. I
me
can't
either,
pick
me
one.
either.
So I think that's a little odd. I mean, it's and the concern that I'm feeling is because it probably isn't much of a secret, even though we release these things week apart. I think everyone knows that we record multiple episodes.
Oh, give it away, our secrets.
It's like, to me, when we did our Four Roses and Longbranch was the clear winner. I think
Surprisingly.
this is Longbranch 100%, and this is Few. This is to me, by far, this is my favorite, but it still isn't. It's my favorite out of these two. I'm not drinking this and going, oh my God, this is like the best
hold
thing
on.
ever.
Stop.
My concern is it's because we've done
No.
a few of these.
We're doing $40 bourbons. We're not doing the 50s, the 60s. There's no Lagavulin in this group. Because otherwise, man, I'd be like, fuck all y'all. It's Lagavulin every time. I know it.
God, that was
This is This is different. This is a $40 bourbon. So the difference is that
Maybe we should do that at the end of this.
Oh,
take
we're
our most
working our
take
up
the
there.
most expensive you've got there.
Yeah. We're working
and we'll
up
do
there.
a blind test to see.
Whoa, we're working up there, brother.
We'll do the best of the best.
Right.
You're the
Because we're
best.
doing
Oh, right,
$40 bourbons now. Next bracket will be 50. Next bracket will be 60.
Jesus.
But I think after that, we're not going to do 70, 80.
I was gonna say, what if we get
Let's
Pappies?
just jump to the best of the
Let's
best.
just go $1,000.
If we get a bottle
Come
of
on.
Pappies,
We just need to
do
win
a
the
whole
lottery.
show just
It's
on-
fine.
we'll do
Or
like
get
3
millions of
shows.
views.
Well, but also
Wink,
remember
wink,
we're
nudge,
pairing
nudge.
it with movies, so it's like I think there's only so far we can
Well-
go anyway.
point of this is
That'd be interesting to take Pappies against the most expensive horror movie.
the point of this is
All
this
right.
is a $40 bourbon range.
I'll smack it again.
$40. So it's not going to match up to the $60, $75 bourbons.
Right.
So it's not going to be your favorite bourbon.
Right.
It's going to be the favorite bourbon.
I think we're getting more and more tipsy.
I think so too. I think this
It's
is
your
So-
favorite
I think
$40
I think this is
bourbon.
my favorite.
No,
Okay.
but that's what you're saying. You're saying between the two, that's got this has got your tongue.
yes. This to me is 100% my favorite out of these two.
Okay.
But my point I was trying to make is out of this, when I compare the episode where we did Four Roses small batch and this was the clear winner. To me, like, and I remember that flavor profile, and I remember that taste. And it was to me a clear winner over Four Roses, which has been my staple whenever I go out and they
Four
have
Roses small batch,
sorry,
specifically.
yes. But my concern is I'm not just like bowled over and in love with this.
Okay.
And so my only
That's
concern,
good. That's as he should.
and my
Should
only
be.
concern is that because this is the 6th whiskey that we've tried tonight.
There's something to that.
Am I
There's
deadening my
there's
taste buds?
something to that.
There-
It's called
that plays a
palate
role.
blindness.
Sure.
We worry about that when we do
But-
these tastings because
yeah,
we
but-
taste 80.
But you still
Scotches
if
or
you think about
whiskeys.
it though, you still your body's gonna. I mean, you've mentioned this 1,000 times before. You like the whiskey that you like the way you like it, right?
Sure.
I mean, and that's the thing is, if Longbranch becomes your staple whiskey over Four Roses now. That's going to happen, right? Like, if you get to that point where you go, this is the fucking flavor profile that's knocking me out every time, like, I've got to have this, that could bump out Four Roses, right? That's how I take that.
Absolutely. But here's the point with this is we're trying to find the best $40 bourbon because that's the price point that most people can afford.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the idea behind this is we're finding out what's the affordable bourbon that's the best of the affordable bourbons.
Sure.
Not going to the $20 bourbons because let's face it, Four Roses is the only one that can hold up there. But we're trying to find something affordable for everybody else. The next level will be for more of the aficionados who likes this kind of bourbon because it's now we're talking a $50 bourbon, which not everybody's going to want to buy. But this is a $40 bourbon. This is a high traffic price point.
Well, a testament to what he's saying is I feel the same way. It's not as so much now, but I think that's why we're doing these brackets, right? What you're saying should be the case. It's getting harder and harder to pick between the two,
That's
right?
very true.
So I think that's because now that I'm taking both of these, I'm like, well, fuck, I like the burn of this one, but this one's smoother, and I can sit here and probably drink this for 2 hours versus this one's one glass and done, right? That's kind of where I'm at on this, and it's like they're both good, but which one am I going to go back to in certain situations? More likely than not, regular situations where I'm just sitting at home, maybe watching a movie.
But this is the idea. If you're going to go out to the grocery store, you like, I need a bottle of bourbon for the house. $40 is as much as I want to spend on this. Ish. What am I going to get?
Yeah, but now that
I know. Let me check out with the MMD guys and see what they say is the best bourbon for $40.
Because we know.
Yes, we're doing this shit. This
Got
is for
your back.
you. This is for you out there. Wow. No, but then when you think about it too, I take it more like, hey, I got people coming over, or this is, you know what, I'm feeling like sitting down and watching, Suspiria tonight.
Right.
And that's where our awesome show here is
He's not lying.
meant to do this. Like, we want to try and pair things because there's going to be nights where you just want to sit down, watch a movie that you feel comfortable watching, whether it's Suspiria, Alien, whatever, some of the other brackets that we've done, Halloween, Exorcist, whatever. And you sit down with that drink in your hand and you just have one or two of them and you just kind of, go through the night, and then you wake up the next morning, not completely hammered, but hey, I drank a good, whiskey because MMD gave you that suggestion. And and you move on with your life, and then you move on to the next weekend where you go, you know what? I'm feeling like watching
It's
Exorcist.
about trying something new, too. You don't know what to try. You're looking for somebody to
within
recommend
reason,
something.
And that's what
you.
the $40 price point is for, right?
We're
we want
recommending
to set it so that it's attainable, and you spend $40. We want you to spend it for a good reason. We don't want you to spend it just because it's $40 and that's the good price point. We want you to spend the $40 and go, it's actually worth the price point.
Well, and I think the other thing, and we said it off camera, all of the
we say a lot off camera.
We do. All of the 8 whiskeys that we picked,
none of them are bad.
They're all good whiskeys.
Yeah.
And so you could pick any one of these 8, and in our minds, you're going to get a good whiskey.
Yeah.
Really what we're trying to do
Completely
now
agree.
is try and take 8 good whiskeys and pare it down to work out which is the best.
And that's what's making it harder. Like you said, there's some that are a blow-away, somehow Longbranch blew away Four Roses, which was unanticipated, right?
Blows my mind.
And then you've got some, now we're getting into that nitty-gritty where it's like, well, shit, I would drink both of these, but which one would I drink more, right? And I think that's what I think a lot of people are going to start to, move towards is, okay, well, hey, they spent $40 on this specific bottle, and it was worth it to them to continue to drink it. And I'm struggling with this one. The last episode, was a little bit
get
easier.
to that. What's your choice?
Fuck, you're gonna make me do this right now.
Damn right, we
All
got
right,
to
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna move to Warwick because
Fucking
he
let's
seems like
pick
he already
one.
knows. I'm gonna do one last sip and then I'm gonna go for it.
Honestly, I'm still not decided, but I'm gonna do one
So
last sip.
I think this is Longbranch,
All right, fuck off.
and this is the one I'm going to go with.
Okay, that was my last sip.
I'm still not.
Well,
Okay, I think I made my decision now.
Okay.
I'm going.
I'm going to stick with one of them. I'm
Okay.
not.
Do we want to start with me?
I'm pretty split on these, but you first.
So I'm gonna go with this one, which is A,
Okay.
and I'm gonna guess that this is Longbranch.
Really? Why do you say it's
The reason I say that is
I'm more
because
interested in
there is
that.
quite a bit of burn on this one, which I liked, but as far as like on a continuous drinking, sipping, want to drink more than maybe one glass, I'm going to go with A. Not even so much binge.
So a
it's
little
more
smoother, a little
more
lighter.
like it's just that smoothness. And I'm a chili head. I love hot stuff, so the spice usually doesn't bother me as much. But this one seemed to have too much burn that on the regular I just would prefer A, and I'm going to say this is Longbranch.
All right. Work.
okay. So I think this one for exactly the same reasons. So it'll be really interesting to see.
What do you think it is?
I think this is Longbranch.
Okay, and you think you're going to prefer Longbranch. Why?
Because
What's the difference between the two?
because I think it's smoother. It's like this to me is it's hotter. It's a little bit more intense when you sip it. Even after now
It's
at this
not
point,
bad. It's just the heat is
just
too much.
it's just a little bit like ooh.
Exactly.
Where this is just a little bit smoother and just a little bit more enjoyable.
Okay.
So-
So you think it's Longbranch because of that?
Yes.
Okay.
And-
Which is the number? What letter is that one?
That's B.
Ooh.
So you both think it's Longbranch. You think A is
I
Longbranch.
went A, he went B.
And you think B is Longbranch.
All right.
I know
let's-
at least one of us is correct.
Right? Okay, so
Dun, dun, dun.
this was way closer. I finished both of my
Same
glasses.
here. Yeah.
And even after sipping both of them dry, I was not 100% which one I liked better. This is as close as it's gotten for me for bourbons.
Okay.
But I will say this one was a little bit more palatable, possibly because it had less burn. But again, that could be the proofing.
Sure.
This one did have a little bit more flavor.
Extra burn.
But the flavor of this was just, even though it was less flavorful, I think it still had a better flavor profile. So it is a little bit more of that stuff that I like, the vanilla, the honey, the oak.
Did that have still the mesquite?
I see.
This had the mesquite smell to me as well.
So my problem is I think this one had the mesquite,
Okay.
but I think this one might be the Longbranch.
Okay.
But I'm not picking it because I think it's Longbranch. I have no idea which one's which.
Sure.
I will say that this one was a little bit more. I have to pick one of them.
Yep.
So I'm picking this one.
And it is
A.
Yeah. Okay. Do I get to do the review?
So A1.
A1
Because we got two
not
A's
steak sauce
and one loser. I'm sorry, one B. All right, let's see what
All
A
right,
is.
A is
Fucking Longbranch.
there it is.
I'm not happy or sad about that.
I know this was very tough. This was
That surprises me.
You
because-
preferred few.
so now
Which surprised me because it's like it wasn't my favorite when we picked it between that and Uncle Nearest.
sure.
I mean, we picked it because it was my favorite between the two.
right. But
But
that's
it's
your
like-
favorite overall.
But again, it's like I thought I was totally picking Longbranch.
Sure.
You were way the fuck off.
Honestly, though, I don't. For the toughness between the two, that's hard. Like I liked the burn a few. Believe me, that was like a good side of it for me because I love that burn. But for whatever reason, I just felt like this was something I could continuously drink on the regular.
I think part of it is because what's the proof of that one? Just curious.
Oh Jesus, you're gonna make me look
Yeah,
old
yeah,
and
yeah.
put my glasses
I gotta
on.
do it too,
Let
brother.
me check this here. We're at 43% ABV, so that's what 86 proof.
This is 46 and a
double it.
half, 93 proof.
Okay.
It is
So
a
that's where that
higher
burn's
proof.
coming from.
Well, but it's not that much different.
No, but
That
in
does make a
proof, when you're
difference.
talking that, a little bit goes a long way.
Would you say the
because-
proof is in the pudding?
No, I
No,
would
so
not
there's
say
no
that
pudding.
because
It's-
that's stupid.
It's whiskey.
It's whiskey. The proof is in the whiskey.
Now, again, this is Fuse basic straight bourbon whiskey.
Now,
When I say basic,
see
it's not
that's
like
that's what's hard is
low
they were
level.
both very good. Like I finished
There-
both of them.
I had a very
You know what?
tough time.
So did I.
There is nothing left of these.
I had a very tough
I
time
think it's
deciding.
more because of alcohol.
And I think we're probably going to run into that more as we keep getting deeper into this.
Agreed.
But this is
Agreed.
This was Jesus Christ. As much as I'm not a huge fan of Matthew McConaughey, just because it's one of those
It's
things
nothing
where
to do with
I
him.
hate when a guy's got good looks and fucking all the other
It's
shit that
nothing
he's
to do
got.
with him.
It's just
It's
the fact that it's
quality of the bourbon. We don't
Yeah.
we don't rate this based on
no,
stardom.
but people,
Right.
but that gives them more clout than a few.
it gives them more advertising
But
clout.
if
Thank
they're
you. Yeah.
good, they're good. Bottom
Exactly,
line.
and that's where I don't want to degrade few in any way because I would still drink this. But this is
Yeah,
just
yeah.
more. I feel like this is again. I always go back to like how my day's gone. Like if I'm having one of those days where I'm just like I just need to relax, perfect for this. If I had one of those days where I'm like, you know what, I fucking hate everybody and everything. And that sounds bad, but it's more just I just want to get
And you need
You've
a
talked
few
about this
drinks.
before.
a few drinks. So
But you've talked about this before, though. You talked about that before.
that
when
plays
you're
a
in a tense
huge
mood,
role
you
in
want
it.
a
You
stronger
apparently
kick
hate
in
a
the
lot of
face.
people.
It's just I mean, I work in IT, and
So
you
do
get
I.
those people where you're just like, I need a
I get it.
stiff drink, right? Like,
get it.
And I'm not a Scotch guy, so
We're gonna work on that.
That's where the whiskey kind
gonna
of
work
comes
on
into
that.
play. It's where it's like I need that burn more than
Yeah.
I need something that's like, hey, just let me calm myself down. But,
Yeah. So, your thoughts?
No, I'm a little surprised. As I said before, it's like Few was my favorite in that bracket. But coming into this, I totally thought that Longbranch was going to be an easy winner for me. Again, because Four Roses Small Batch is my go-to that I would always order at any bar.
Which you didn't choose.
Which I didn't choose. Well, that's my point. And I chose Longbranch. And so I figured that Longbranch was minimally going to be the easy choice in this, considering in my head, I didn't feel that I really liked Few. But again,
Apparently, you like it more than you thought you liked it.
absolutely. Which again, the point is of the blind test, right?
Which
Yeah.
I love.
Which this
my
is great
favorite
because
part, that it's a blind test.
I'm
I
learning
love that.
more. I mean, it sounds bad, but I'm learning more about my flavor profile, right, than I
Right, what you
am.
like.
Then, because if you handed me this, all that stuff plays into it. Oh, it's Longbranch, it's Matthew McConaughey, it's and you go, oh, okay, well maybe I'm supposed to like this, which can play into okay, I'm going to be more pickier about it, right? Like, but that's what I like these blind taste tests. It's like I don't know what the fuck I'm drinking,
Right?
And I'm going based off
Just
of
what do I like the taste of?
Yeah, what's tickling my
Agreed.
fancy?
Agreed.
What
So-
feels,
You got a
what feels
fancy?
good going down the back of your throat?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that where you have your fancy?
yeah, it's right back in there. You know, you got to reach it though.
We've all seen the movie.
That's you too.
We've already seen the movie.
So
Yeah.
now that we've got our bourbon side of things,
Yeah.
what do we do next?
Let's move
What's
on.
our movie bracket?
We are moving on. Oh wait, do we want to do the whole drag? Did we already drag the winner? Over?
No, let's do that now.
Okay, so we're going to show.
crazy to me, though.
This is the bracket, which is honestly, I'm very happy with the fact that you use the bottle because that does help me remember shit because
This
I'm
is
ADD when it comes to
crazy.
this shit.
I would never thought Four Roses and Few in the same bracket with Longbranch that Longbranch would have taken.
I'm with you.
Never would have guessed that.
Yeah. And if you have comments, if you want to debate with us on this, definitely
This is
let us know in the
crazy to
comments.
me. This is ridiculous.
Like, comment, subscribe. Even if you don't agree with us, like it, then talk with us. Then we'll
Yep.
We'll keep
We're
it going. So-
happy to have debates.
So, the next side of things, we watched a movie on top of this.
So now-
Movies, we'll say.
So now we're talking Halloween versus the
Omen.
Omen. And holy
Oh my
fuck,
God.
I gotta say, I'm not looking forward to this.
This is
This is
this
not
is just
going
as
to be
bad
an easy
as
bracket.
trying to figure out between the Few and the
Honestly,
Longbranch.
this is way worse.
Right.
These are two top-notch movies.
So
Yeah.
so this kind of plays into what I mentioned earlier. Like this is so hard, and I know this is going to be stressful to talk about this. That I'm going to lean towards the Few to fill back up my glass
really,
because
you
I
didn't
know-
like that more than you like.
Well, the reason being is because this is going to be stressful for me to try and decide between Halloween and the Omen.
Logan, I think you're full of shit.
Yeah, I think that doesn't make any sense. I'm waiting for him to fill both glasses up.
Yeah, we're gonna need to buy a new bottle for the last bracket.
No, think
that
about
long
it. The reason I'm saying this is because I need a stiffer drink to talk about the difference between these two movies.
Okay, let's
Okay.
talk about it.
So I think these two movies are trying to do two totally completely different things. I mean, we've talked about it in previous episodes. This is also, you have to look at this a little bit on, it's the difference between the small budget horror movie and the big studio movie that has, I don't have my data in front of me, but I think it was like again another $10, $11 million movie.
For the Omen, I'm assuming.
For the
Omen was
for the
11
Omen.
million.
Yeah, like star-studded movie. This is a tough one because again, like on first quick take on this, I think Halloween would be my obvious winner purely for the fact that the iconic nature of what that movie is.
I disagree. Why would that be obvious winner? This is the
Well,
Omen.
No, what?
This is the Academy
but
nominated movie.
but that is my point. But that is my point. My point is it's like for me personally. Well, no, I'm not gonna say for me personally. I think Halloween has an iconic place in the pantheon of. I use that word again. In that
I like that he used Pantheon.
yes, of horror movies. And I would doubt highly that there is any person that considers themselves a horror fan that has not seen Halloween. I wouldn't say that same thing about Omen.
Totally disagree.
Okay.
You think
Everybody, when we go to these conventions, and we do a lot of conventions, everybody knows what the Omen is. Everybody has seen the Omen. Whether they dress cosplay for the Omen,
I agree with that.
They know the Omen.
Yeah, they know of it. They may not know all because how many movies are there? 4 or 5?
Well,
I
but the
think
point
there's
is, the
about 3.
original one has got all the different.
Sure.
The original one's got the pea soup, the spinning head, the crab walk, all the things that
Are you going to Exorcist on us here?
are followed around.
There we go.
That are followed on all these other movies. People know those scenes.
no, and again, what I'm trying to say, and maybe I'm just not articulating correctly, it's I think what makes it difficult is, I think The Omen is the better movie as a movie. You know, I think it has. I think
Explain
it has.
that.
I think it has a. I think it has a better story. Mm-hmm. I think the acting is clearly better. I think it obviously it's not necessarily a gore fest, although
Neither one of them are really.
No,
right, but
makes it harder a little.
But I would imagine that if you were to look at or poll 100 people about what you felt was the gorier movie, most people would think Halloween would be the gorier movie, even if
Because it's a slasher film, but yet not.
Right, because you don't receive any blood.
Now, that would be, I would agree with that if the people you were talking to were non-horror
Stupid.
fanatics. I'm not saying they're stupid. They're just non-horror fanatics.
Ron,
Because most horror fanatics go, holy shit, if you think about it, the only blood in Halloween was the police officer sitting in his car with blood.
Splatter.
That's the only true, when the dog gets killed, it's choked, and the other bodies are just going, So the reason why I chose to drink the few during this one is because I needed a stiffer drink, because when you look at the two movies in general, they're both about child issues, right? Like they're children that have either some sort of demonic possession or some sort of just something that they have that thing, like, and John Carpenter has said that he went to, I think it was in Bowling Green, into a psychiatric ward, and he saw a child that had, that was the first thing he thought of, was the darkest eyes, the devil's eyes.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's what Damien is, right? He's that person. He could be considered the precursor to Michael Myers in that sense that he's maybe 4 or 5 years younger, right? Because he's what,
supposed to be
6? Is he
beyond
6
that.
in The Omen? Something like that, 4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah,
more like
some of that.
4.
But
And then Michael Myers is what, 9 or 10?
Yeah.
So
That's a big difference.
Yeah,
but also the other thing about Damien is it's not, if you follow the movies through, it's really not until later in his life that he realizes what his role is.
Sure.
It's
Well, they allude to it in the early ones, right? But you don't really know that until the future, like, because they, what is their what do they call it? The caretaker. It was all for you, Damien.
right.
The
nanny, yeah.
She doesn't even realize she's doing it, but she's willing to kill herself.
Right, but that's not quite correct. So in other words, if you kind of
I'm
exactly
wrong.
what
Do tell.
she knew exactly what she was
she
doing.
does.
Like
True.
she was placed there to protect the son of the devil.
Right.
But why would that's where I didn't feel like she didn't need to kill herself, because when they brought in the second girl, like, obviously the mother had inklings about the caretaker, right? Because what did she keep saying? She kept taking Damien away from her, right? Before that, and then all of a sudden she goes upstairs and throws the thing over her neck and jumps out and says, "It's all for you, Damien." Right? Like, because there was points, at least that's when I watched it, that's what I got, was that feeling that the mom was like, something ain't right here. Give me Damien.
No. I think at the end of the day, it's like, Piper Laurie's character. She's playing the role of a mother that instinctively she knows she needs to be spending more time and being the one who raises her child. She happens to be fortunate enough that she has the money, that she has a nanny, so the nanny can take care of the child.
Was she an actor herself? I don't remember.
What?
Well, the mother.
What about it?
Was she like an actress?
Oh, you
or
mean-
was she working? I think she did
Was her
something.
character an actress in the?
No,
In the
no,
film.
I don't think so. She
No.
was just simply the wife of
the wife
of the U.S.
government
ambassador.
official.
So she was
England.
lazy, is what you're saying.
Well, no, she's just someone that with money and
Yeah.
and has the advantages of having a nanny. I think the point is, though, like, she saw that the nanny was taking more of a motherly control
Sure.
of Damien.
Okay, I could see that.
than she liked.
Yeah.
I think
That was absolutely a plot point.
the whole point of her killing herself was the fact that what Damien needed was now a stronger person to protect him.
I'll concede that. Yeah, that I didn't really think about that as much. I was going based on the fact that like that could have been a turning point for Damien to, you know what I mean? Like there's certain things because what triggered Michael, right? What triggered Michael was seeing his sister go up and bang some guy. In this case, the trigger point would have been the caretaker killing herself. Now that triggered Damien going, oh, people die? Oh, wait, I control people that can die?
But again, Damien really was never really triggered. You know,
he didn't care.
In other words, it's
you,
like
bitch.
even when he's riding his
666, bitch.
Even when
he didn't even know he had 666.
Even when he's riding his trike, and ultimately the mother falls down and on the ground. It's
because that was preordained,
right?
Sure.
But in other words, I don't think that wasn't Damien being evil.
Right.
That was Damien doing something that a higher power stepped in and said, "Well,
correct.
Well, she's the problem. Like,
get her out of here.
Yeah, she needs to be gone.
Yeah,
and the
well, you could also blame the caretaker at that point because she opened the door to say, "Hey, go on out there."
Well, absolutely,
like he would have just kept riding around in circles
that
in
was
his
the
room.
whole point.
But that was
exactly
that she.
So
that was the plan.
Open the door to allow Damien's path to cross the mother's path to cause the mother's death.
Now, my ignorance, I have not seen Omen 2, 3, or then whatever 3, 4. Like I have not seen beyond that because is Sam Neill in one of them? Mm-hmm. Is he Damien in the future?
3.
Okay, so
which is actually a very good movie.
Yeah.
So and I've heard good things, but just Sam Neill's fucking awesome to begin with. But that's one of those things where I'm like, okay, so is it so much that the person's being influenced by person or in this case a child being influenced by his surroundings, or is it like you said preordained, like, hey, if I just kind of open this door, he's going to go out that way and knock her down? And because he could have gone out the door and just kind of rolled around and not even gone near his mother, or he could have just not even gone out the door and the lady just opened it. So obviously this is for film's sake and things like that, but I think that he has, people have that in them. It's almost like serial killers, right? In real life, like you've got that one little thing that it could send you this path versus that. And that could have, her opening the door could have sent him down that path of, holy shit, I killed my mom.
So the difference is Damien might have not have known it. She knew it.
Yeah.
Correct. And that's where, but like, what point did he flip? Because at some point he went to that when they were going to the wedding, and he lost his shit. She didn't say to him, Damien, if you go and nor did the caretaker. If you go to church, it's going to cause you.
I think that's one of these things where if you could somehow talk to that 5-year-old boy, he would have said, I don't know what it is. There's something I just don't like about churches.
I got you.
She did. The nurse, caretaker, maid, whatever, did try to warn her. Say, no, I don't think this is for Damien.
Right.
I think Damien should stay with me, and he's not ready for church because she knows.
Sure.
Right.
Damien doesn't know. She's there to guide Damien.
Yeah, and really, so like Omen 2, obviously Damien's older. But it's really not until 3 with Sam Neill that he really starts understanding what his role in the world is.
And accepts it and moves on.
And what he needs to do to...
Right. Now, does he have I see, that's the thing, I haven't seen 3. Does he have the political clout already up to that point then?
He gets the political clout.
Yeah, because also he's now like, he owns...
Jesus.
He owns Thorn Industries.
Right. He owns some like
Thorn?
Yes.
Coincidence?
No, it's his dad. What are you
Michael
talking about?
Myers. Thorn? Halloween 6? Jesus Christ.
No,
See?
we're talking the Omen. Thorn Industries. The Thorn fucking family name is Thorn.
Just saying.
Damn.
But
I'm tying the two together. And
you're not.
Anyway.
So
I'm trying.
I think ultimately at the end of the day, it goes back to, I think Omen is a better movie. But what makes it hard is Halloween is such like a mainstay in what is the definition of a horror movie.
Yeah, but so I don't want you to be forced into going, everybody wants me to like Halloween. I want you to say
No,
I'm going to
but we're
defend
not.
I'm going to defend Omen to the end, because in essence, yes, it may have regarding disregard budget, disregard all that other stuff. I think Omen was a better movie. I'm not saying that. I feel like you kind of start to split things off, because you've got pure evil in that. You've got Michael Myers, who he just wants to kill. And then you've got Omen, Damien, who is more like, I don't know that I want to kill until somebody
keeps
really
happening around it.
Exactly, until I realize that, holy shit, I have the ability to kill, right? Like Michael Myers does it because he's just like, my sister's a slut, and then all of a sudden he's killing people, right? Whereas Damien's like, well, people are telling me that they're shit, this lady jumped and killed herself for me. Well, it's like he doesn't realize
end of the
it.
movie, The Omen, he does realize
Yes,
it.
yeah, I feel like he realizes what
Because at the
he
end,
realizes
he does
something's
the whole
going
thing where
on.
his parents are dead, and yet he still turns around and smiles.
Yeah, little prick.
Meaning he got the idea. He figured it out.
So, but that's where I feel like Halloween is more believable, in the sense that, because now, and this is where things kind of vary, and this is where I'm going to get probably a lot of hate mail, because, hey, Midnight Movie Distillery, comment, please, like, subscribe, comment.
I am Logan Lynch.
I am Logan Lynch at gmail.com.
I said Jegan mail.
Sure, I get you. Yeah, because you're on this Geiger and Giger.
Christ. It is fucking, watch the Alien documentary.
Anywho.
Giger.
But you've got those two. I mean, this is why I do like this combination, because as much as I'm a huge Halloween fan, they have very similar plot lines, in that you've got young children that become killers in a sense, but one is more of a serial killer doing it by himself, whereas another, it's like they think he's predestined to this, and and then they kind of push him into it. Whereas Michael Myers just snaps, and I feel like that's more believable than like an Omen, where it's like, hey, pun intended, they're telling him, well, you're supposed to do this, and he's like, well, why do I need to do this? He doesn't understand. He's a young kid, and then by the end of the film, he's going, yeah, well, fuck, I can kill people just by looking at them funny, right? Like,
But he can't necessarily at that point.
Right.
Well,
it's predetermined.
True.
So, not to beat around the bush again, because we're at an hour, but
Jesus, it's
pick
already-
your fucking movie.
You want me to pick? I'm gonna go. This was honestly, just like the fucking whiskeys. This was hard to go by.
Absolutely.
But
it's not going to get any easier.
and which is fine. I'm totally fine with
Okay.
that. But I'm gonna stick with Halloween.
Okay. Mr. Price.
So I'm going The Omen. I'm going The Omen because of the fact that I think this is overall a better movie. I think Halloween is awesome.
You're wrong, but okay.
I think Halloween is an awesome movie.
But back it up.
But I think the point is, it's like the story behind Damien, everything that goes in, the kills, the whole photography, and like the lines on the photography. It's just it is like, it's so fucking creepy, and it's like, as much as
It's beyond his control too, right? Like that's not
Right, well,
something
to
that
some degree,
yeah.
those
this is the
parts
whole
are, for sure.
Exactly, this is the
Yeah,
whole predestined thing.
predestined.
And by definition
I
of
hear you.
predestined, it's like when you start seeing those lines, really at the end of the day, there's nothing that you can do to stop that from happening.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
I understand.
And I think the thing that was interesting is like, that's why the photographer goes and collects the knives after Thorne,
Because he knows he's fucked.
Because he goes, this is going to happen to me,
Right. I gotta do something.
If you kill your son, I might have a chance,
Right.
of still surviving, because that's the only thing he can see. Again, it's a hard decision, because I think Halloween is an incredibly rewatchable movie. I've seen it so many times. I love the movie, but I think if we're trying to pick the better movie out of the two, Jesus Christ,
No
Can't
pun
stop
intended.
See, it's giving him indigestion. That's how hard it is.
I think Omen is the winner.
Okay.
Wow. We're split 50.
Okay, so we're down to 50-50 here.
So I can say this. In my industry, when I say my industry, our industry, one of the most iconic characters of all time is Michael Myers.
Absolutely.
There is no doubt, no matter where you go, whatever horror conventions you go to, no matter what discussions you have about horror films in general, Michael Myers is going to pop up in that discussion.
Sure.
He is iconic. He's a character to be reckoned with. He's one of my favorite characters of all time.
However,
The Omen is a masterpiece in cinematic photography. It's a masterpiece in storytelling. It's a masterpiece in pacing. I have no choice but to go with The Omen.
right.
Oh, damn.
It's undeniably leaps and bounds above Halloween. Halloween started a genre. Halloween has a niche in the market for starting a genre, helping to start a genre. But The Omen was a masterpiece.
Right, and again, as
Now everybody sees why I was drinking the few.
yeah,
I felt I felt like Halloween was going to be underappreciated, not because.
And again, it's not that it's underappreciated.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to make you guys feel bad.
All of these movies in the top 8 are amazing.
This is tough. This was hard.
Like John Carpenter truly ranks as one of my favorites.
No doubt.
So who is the director of The Omen?
John Schmittenheimer can't justify.
Oh, well, but can you say the director of Halloween?
John Schmickenheimer.
Oh, yeah, there we go. So that's what I'm saying. Now, that's the thing, though, is I do understand where you guys are coming from, right? Like, I'm not like, oh, you guys are completely wrong, because this is hard. I mean, it's just like these whiskeys. It's not a simple thing. There's so many fucking elements that play into it. And that's why I like this, is because it's hard. And it's going to make it, and I want it to be hard. Like, you could sit here and every one of us could agree on every movie, and everybody's going to go, yeah, I knew they were going to pick, So I'm a little shocked that Halloween is not apparently going to go on.
So I understand your butt hurt on that.
Yes.
But
like, literally, my butthole is just doing this right now.
But let me explain something.
Try sitting on this chair.
Yeah.
With Halloween, it was a closed world event. It all happened in Haddonfield. In fact, just within a few blocks of Haddonfield.
So you were looking at it from the bigger picture.
No, I'm just saying this whole thing was a small story in the fact of a killer's following this person. He goes from one place to another place, and it's more of a mystery of where's he going to show up, where's he going to be. Where's The Omen was a story that was bigger than that.
Right. Sure.
It was multi-country. It was multicultural.
Multidimensional in a sense, right?
It was absolutely, it just took the storytelling so far. It started in a place that you were not thinking it was going to start, with the discovery of the Pazuzu and statue and the little marker idol that ended up showing up later on, and the depth of that story was just so far beyond Halloween.
Right, and also in very much the same way as, whenever, not that I vaguely in a million years, believe in God or therefore the devil and stuff like that, but whenever you bring kind of religious icons into any movie, again, think Exorcist, there is something that is just almost immediately elevated about that movie. And I think The Omen, I think you said it earlier, just like the pacing of that movie is so phenomenal because you don't know whether, in a slightly different but like a similar way to Knock at the Cabin Door. It's like you don't know initially whether that nanny that jumped off the roof is just
all been
fucking
bullshit.
crazy.
Yeah, they're just Looney Tunes, right?
And even the photographer with the lines, maybe he just is a crappy photographer and doesn't do stuff.
That's where I was kind of, my defense on the Michael Myers side was, there was no question he killed his sister, right? Like,
right.
He did the work.
Beginning of the movie,
he did the work. Whereas I feel like Omen, it was like, hey, Damien, in a sense, you could say they molded him to that, and not that draws
That's
away
part of it.
from
That's
what
part of it,
right? Like,
absolutely.
but that could be their intention. That could have been, But that's God. I feel like it shows. Both movies show how fragile childhood could be.
But also I think it's one of these things where, again, very much like we talked about with Alien, where it's like you don't really see the alien for more than a few seconds in the movie.
Sure.
It's the thing that is great about The Omen is
he's there the whole time.
well, and the point is, it's like it's what you don't see.
Well, but also I feel like what you misinterpret, right? Like, hey, he's a kid riding his fucking tricycle. He's gonna ride around in that area.
But that was the whole illusion of it. It's like,
sure.
Is he Satan?
Right.
Or is it an accident?
He's
Or
just
was
a
it
kid. Just
correct?
A kid.
Like, I liked how they did toy with that, where
Where
I
Michael
felt like
Myers comes out, he
it
stabs
was
you,
like
you know it's Michael
Yeah, it's
Myers
like I'm gonna
coming
go
out
get
to
a knife
stab you.
because my sister's a whore. And
Well,
There's no mystery
and
involved.
to exactly the point you said earlier, it's like it's really not until literally the very last seconds of that movie
you don't know. You think it's
that you go, oh, Damien knows. That,
well,
that-
but
that-
see,
that-
but
that
could
he's
that
evil.
be
Yep.
our mentality of we want the child to be innocent?
No, the
child
story
is
led you that
children,
way.
but children are
The
innocent
story
until
led you
you
that
see.
way.
Like I'm like that's coincidental, and then as soon as Damien makes that little look at the end when they're both in their caskets,
That was
I'm
the
like,
twist.
That motherfucker.
That was the twist, because at that point you're like, holy
That's when you go,
fuck,
Dad,
he knew what he was doing. the
he
whole
needs to
time.
get spanked, right? Like,
and least we forget, Omen had the coolest elevators.
No shit.
that is true.
Those elevators really
That is
exist.
true.
You know that in
It's-
Europe they really
it's,
exist.
It's amazing.
God,
I want to.
those just look painful.
I want a
oops,
house
my
with those
toes a little
elevators
too
in it.
far out.
Yeah,
Anyway.
not for the fat people.
All right, so then let's. I guess
So
honestly,
it's
that was.
2-1. It's a split decision.
Do you know?
but
Honestly,
it's
this was a bit of a
decision.
shocker for me. I thought Halloween was going to make it to the final two.
And again, as we've said before,
I
it's-
did my
it's like
defense.
in a different bracketing
Agreed.
group. It
Agreed.
totally could have made it.
Yeah.
Further.
What would have been?
Agreed.
I mean, it would have been interesting to see like the Omen against the Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Right, because
You know.
the Omen would have won, clearly in that.
I don't know about that one. That's still. See, I feel like that would have been tougher, but
But
like
here's,
Omen versus Suspiria.
Here's the thing though. We all love Halloween.
Yeah.
Right.
There is no denying.
I'm a
he's
huge fan. That's
still
why.
Oh, absolutely.
one
Die
of my
hard.
favorite iconic characters. We are in Illinois, so yeah, I lend to the whole thing.
no,
'cause
Haddon
he's the
feels
Illinois
fake.
character. But the point is, he's like our hometown murderer.
Yeah.
And God, I love
And
him.
who doesn't love a hometown
Right.
murderer?
I mean,
Like, who
Wisconsin's got Dahmer, you know.
We
Right,
have
but
Gacy.
here, but
We got
but-
Gacy.
But
Killed more.
just if we're talking
for the
about
win.
quality of cinematic, the cinematic quality of it is just.
Well,
And Omen had a bigger budget. I get it, but the story
budget- but
behind that was
I will defend-
transcendental and went across countries and went across
I will.
time zones.
I will
and
defend
Halloween
Omen
was
on
just
this
one
one and
era.
say it doesn't. Budget sometimes doesn't matter
I
because
agree.
what
I
John Carpenter
agree.
did with $300,000, if he had 11 million, it may have sucked complete ass.
No,
right?
So here's the thing: I agree with that, but to a small point. In other words, there is a certain part that says more money doesn't make it better. The story behind
Right.
Halloween was a limited story. This kid cracked, killed his sister. Now he's after everybody in his family. That's it.
Right.
So-
The
so-
Omen was way beyond
yeah,
that. We're
the
talking
the
good
Omen
and
kind of
evil,
took
end
it
of
and
time
upped it to the next level of okay
Way
now
beyond the next
not only does he killing his family, but he's going after the entire
The
fucking
world.
world, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And again, he's doing
born
it.
of the richest family in
And
America.
I think it plays into everyone's fear. If you think about it, you don't want somebody in politics that could fucking hit a button and nuke the shit out of everybody, right? Like that probably
Ideally.
during
well, that's
when
what
was it?
three
Ideally.
tackles. Three.
So,
Right.
Three
yeah, I mean,
tackles
you got somebody that because when was that? 78. When was
Which one?
Omen.
The Omen was 77.
77.
yeah.
So 77. So
I believe.
think about that. If you've got a kid that's 6 years old, in
Yeah,
77.
5, 6, yeah.
By the time he's in the 80s, you're looking at somebody that has got I mean, because granted, we had pharaohs that were 12 or 11 that were ruling
Worlds, yeah.
ruling their nations or whatever. That's kind of like what they kind of alluded to, and that's why I do need to see 2 and 3. I'm probably going to watch 3 before 2 because it's kind of probably one of those Exorcist 1 versus Exorcist 2 versus Exorcist 3.
Two, you need to see 2 just because 2 really starts showing Damien having just a little bit more inkling of some of the power that he has.
He knows the people around him. 76.
Is it power or clout?
76. What?
Well,
what I mean?
No, because he's still a kid. Like in Omen 2, he's still a kid. It's not until 3 that he's now an adult and he now runs Thorn Industries.
Correct.
That now he has real power.
God, Sam Neill is just awesome.
And the second one was the Omen 2 was called Damien.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Omen, that was 78.
Is it the same kid
So literally
from
2
original
years later.
Omen?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Just older?
Pretty
Okay.
sure, yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll have to check
freaky
it out.
looking.
Right.
Yeah, there was just something about it. I mean, honestly, that's the thing is, and it sounds bad, but I hated that kid in that movie. But it's one of those things where that was the intention, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he was annoying.
yeah, there was just certain characters, like case in point, we mentioned earlier, Alien. That one character, I can't think of her name, the one that just screamed all the time.
Oh,
Alien?
Lambert.
Lambert,
Right. The one who was
God, she was annoying. But then when I looked,
oh, God.
yeah, yeah, it's just like,
But
Veronica Cartwright was the name.
yeah. But
But
when
I
you look
will
at it, it's
say-
like she played it.
when that alien popped out and everybody was silent because they were
Yeah.
shocked she was the only one you heard was like, oh, God. And
Yeah.
you're like, right?
Yeah, yeah. You're like, oh,
That's freaky,
shit.
right?
Yeah.
So I bought it.
Yeah.
But still.
Anyway,
All right, so we're at
Anyway.
the 1 hour mark.
we
So
got it.
so-
Omen for the win?
Showed it?
Omen made it.
we showed that, right?
I think
showed
we
it.
did. I think.
show
Are
it.
we still on? There we go.
Are we still
So,
on? Yeah, we're
there
still
it
here.
is.
The
Omen.
beat out Halloween.
Wow. Not by my doing.
Honestly, it's the Halloween's a great
This
movie,
was a lot.
but the
tougher.
Omen is more of a masterpiece. What I don't look forward to is who the Omen's going to end up going against in the next bracket because it's either The Exorcist or Alien. Both of those are
Jesus
phenomenal.
Christ.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know
gonna be
who's
tough.
going to win that one.
That's.
I
don't even-
have no fucking clue.
Well,
Gonna have to
I
tune in and time out.
yeah.
Time out.
Yeah.
Find out. Jesus Christ.
Tune in and tie out.
tune in next Wednesday when we will drop that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we always say, well, we said it.
Do we want to cut back to us?
We are cutting back.
Oh.
This
Well,
is
take a look. Take
I
a
don't
look.
know what's going on in
Use your eyes.
I'm so upset by Halloween
Use your
losing.
eyes. As we have said in the last few episodes, once we finish the 70s pool, we'll be doing the 80s.
I think 80s is
so
gonna get a lot
start
of-
thinking about
Please,
your
help us out. This is a
your-
big field.
your
Yeah.
top 80s
This is
movies.
a big field.
And we might want to think about, rather than doing 8, doing 16.
If we get enough of a
draws out-
response, I say we do 16. And
That's a
you know-
huge
You know what would be
undertaking.
fun though? If we did 16, we did our 8, and then we did viewers 8.
I'm
But-
sure there'll be some overlaps.
But
though.
there might be some. There probably will smaller. But the problem is that's a huge undertaking.
Well, we've got so many fans.
I'm
It
up
could
for it.
happen. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That's
it's
more
a
reason
huge
for us to keep
undertaking.
drinking,
Well,
so I'm fine with that.
Also, to be honest, that also means a huge number of bourbons we have to buy.
Yeah, I was going to say, think about that. How many bourbons?
Well, 16.
Of $50 bourbons?
Yes.
Oh, dear
How
God.
many thousands of dollars?
Well,
is
that would be $800.
Jesus Christ!
Wow, good math on that one. Jesus.
Yeah.
My brain, I'm like, 5 times 10 times the point. All right, anyway.
Anyway,
Carry the one.
so
Carry the
if you
one.
have any ideas for an 80s
Help us out,
80s
please.
horror movie, put it
Help
in the
us
comments
out.
or send us an
I'm
email.
going to tell you right now, don't include the stuff. For fuck's sake.
What?
Oh my god.
Fuck you! The stuff is going to be in.
I knew that was
The
going to ruffle some
stuff
feathers.
is going to be
Yeah,
in the
the stuff's
bracket.
going to be stuffed in my underwear as I
Especially
shit my
six-
pants
oh
and wipe my ass
God,
with it.
It's in. It's going to fucking win it.
Jesus, that was the...
Fuck you.
No, Aliens is going to win it.
Jesus Christ.
So anyway, as always, love you guys. Thank
comment,
you.
subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.
We'll
tell
have
all-
social media
blah,
all
blah,
tell
around
all your
us.
friends about us.
Get a hold of us in any way, shape, or form, and let us know what you want for 80s.
Electronically, don't actually get a hold of us.
We do prefer. We do follow Facebook and YouTube quite a bit. So if you comment on either of those are probably going
Yeah,
to get.
we
earlier
will take it into
response.
account.
But let us know, please. We got a lot of movies in the 80s.
Yes.
So, stick around next episode. We're going to be going down to the last couple brackets. We've only got a few left,
No,
man.
it's coming down to the
There's only
nitty gritty,
2 more
man.
episodes
Exorcist
for
and
the
Alien.
best movie of the fucking 70s.
Exorcist and Aliens.
Well, we
Alien.
haven't done the last bracket.
Alien.
We don't know.
God damn it.
We don't know if it's Alien.
There's only
No,
one of them.
it is.
No, we don't. It's in the Exorcist or Alien.
That's what we just said. We
Yes.
literally just said that.
But literally, though?
Literally.
Literally. There's
Literally.
there's a CH in there.
Literally.
Social media
Logan literally.
Somewhere around here.
up there.
Anyway.
And we're good to go.
All right, folks.
Love you guys.
Get the hell out. Love you. Bye. Goodbye.
Bye.
See you soon.
Okay.